tell you guys. 3 Yo! What's going on, y'all? Welcome to libraviews. I'm Charlene. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. So, did you guys hear about that story up in New York of that girl, that 16-year-old girl that was stabbed and killed in a group fight while attending a parade? Now, I really wanted to talk about this because I had an incident that happened to me a couple of days ago. And when the story came out, it really rang parallel with an experience that I had just went through. So if you guys don't know, it was a young lady, a 16-year-old girl, who I believe, I'm not sure that this is fact, but I believe she was an honor roll student. Her name was Kayla Brianna Green, okay? She's a 16-year-old girl. She attends a high school basketball parade. I guess the basketball team was, number one in the city or whatever, so they were having a parade for this basketball team. Later on that afternoon, a big fight broke out. Whole bunch of girls, maybe guys, but definitely for sure, a whole bunch of girls were out at this parade fighting. And as a result, Kayla, the young lady, and another young girl was stabbed, but she survived. But Kayla, unfortunately, lost her life. And when video footage of the fight came out and authorities got a hold of that, they could see that it was a young teenage girl in the crowd with a knife, just kind of slinging it all over the place. And as a result, like I said, she killed someone and she is now dead. The mother came out, made a Facebook post or an Instagram post, and she was talking about how she just, was having a really hard time dealing with the fact that her daughter was dead at 16, that she wished that the girl who murdered her daughter would come and murder her so she can, be buried with her daughter. She was clearly going through a lot, having a lot of emotional trauma behind her daughter, getting murdered, rightfully so. Like I was saying, this story reigned, parallel to something that I had just went to, right? So for those of you who don't know, I lived part-time. I do Lyft, rideshare, driving part-time. And I was lifting on Saturday night, and I'm in Baltimore. For those who don't know, you should know by now, but I'm in Baltimore or whatever. So I'm riding down Bel Air Road, which is kind of like a really busy street. It's a busy road. It kind of extends from one city through a county to, it's a really long strip, a lot of activity going on. So I'm driving down this road and I'm approaching a ride. And as I'm driving down the road, I see cops on this side, and, it's a city street. So, there's lights, every so often. So there, cops here and cops at the Taco Bell and, cops parked in the parking lot over here. It kind of looked like a parade, honestly. Like it looked like a carnival, but it wasn't a carnival. I didn't see, a wheel thing or nothing. It was just a lot of police, a lot of lights from police. And I saw a lot of kids, teenagers, just walking up and down the street, whatever. And as I'm getting closer to pick up my ride, I still see cops, everywhere. They're on this side of the street, that side of the street, in the parking lot, 3 lined up here, 3 and I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I pull up to where I'm supposed to be picking up my ride, and it's 4 girls, clearly teenage girls. And they get in the car, and one girl in particular was just going off very loud. It was like piercing my ears. And she was talking about, how, they was just fighting, and then, did they see her, beating this one girl's ass? And then, she stomped down a boy, and her homegirls, they're all in the car talking, and I get to speeding, because I don't want to hear this shit. Number one, I'm too old for the shit. I'm a young woman, but I'm too old for that. See, and this is what I'm realizing is that when you're a teenager, and probably 25 and under, I would say 25 and under, that is going to be the youngest. You're going to spend majority of your life as an older person. You're only going to be a young person for a very short amount of time in your life. You're only going to be a young adult person for a very short period of your time. So I'm not saying that I'm old, but I'm too old for that teenage, early 20s bullshit. So I'm speeding in my car trying to get to where the hell I gotta go so I can drop these hood boogers off, because I'm not trying to hear this loud ghetto ratchet shit. Y'all not talking about getting no money. You're not talking about a relationship. Y'all not talking about schoolwork. Y'all not talking about grades, honor roll, seeing a cute guy. Y'all talking about fighting and physically assaulting and harming each other. And did you see this? And did you see that? And I'm about to go on Instagram live. And y'all, did y'all see my live the other day? This is all that's going on in the backseat of my car. Did y'all see the live the other day? I had 100 people on my live. My live was jumping. 100. I guess for, a 16-year-old, I guess 105, people in your live is a lot. But girl, I mean, just going in. And basically, if you're not understanding what I'm saying, when I picked up these 4 girls, I had basically picked them up from a situation where basically these kids just meet up to fight. These kids just meet up to fight. I mean, in herds. And I'm picking up on what is going on, because she was like, well, the Sky Zone parking lot ain't got shit on us. And Sky Zone, for those, it's a kid activity place, but I'm familiar with that area as well. It's kind of maybe 15 minutes away from where I picked them up at. And from what I got from what she was saying is that there were different parking lots in different sections where people were going to meet up and fight. And that where she and her homegirls were fighting was the more poppin', the more lit area than the Sky Zone parking lot. And I'm just in the car, in the front seat, just thinking how pitiful and how sad, that is. And then, like I said, the story of Kayla Green coming out of a big group fight in New York at a parade, and some girl gets stabbed and gets killed. Now that young lady is going to spend the rest of her breathing days inside of a prison. For what? For what? And the thing that gets me about the girl with the knife, you went there you went there with the purpose of using and really harming somebody. Because why would you have a knife? When I was younger, me and my friends, we used to literally party in clubs. Fuck a parade at a playground. Fuck a parking lot fight. Me and my friends, I'm talking about high school teenagers. We would be downtown in the city in Baltimore at clubs, at literal clubs. So the fact that you went and I ain't never brought a knife or no shit like that. So the fact that you brought a knife, I feel like you really went there to really do and cause some harm. Now, it's one thing if you're maybe taking public transportation, or maybe you have a part-time job after school and you don't get off of work until maybe 9 or 9:30, and it's dark outside and you have to walk so many miles or catch the bus, and you have a knife on you and you happen to get into a fight, and you know what I'm saying? That's different. But why do you have a knife on you when you're going to a school basketball parade? You went there with the motive to do something harmful, and for what? And for what? For what? For what? And clearly this is something that the young kids are doing. They're meeting up and loads and just fighting. And it's just crazy to me, because it's like, this is what you guys deem as fun. Like, that is crazy to me. I don't have kids myself, you know how people get, where people try to, give advice to people, that have kids. And if you don't have kids, they be, child, you ain't got no kids. You don't know what you're talking about. But I don't have kids, but I have a brain. Okay. And, parents need to get on top of their kids, man. Parents need to get on top of their kids. The fact that your kids are meeting up in parking lots, I mean, that's crazy. Y'all need to get on top of y'all kids. And especially now that there's phones and so many devices where you can track and share location and this, that, and the third. For you not to know that your kid is meeting up to fight with all this social media. I mean, hell, the cops know what the hell you doing before you even know what the hell you doing, because of social media and because of the internet and because of cell phones and things like that. You need to really be and know what the fuck your kids are doing. I actually have another friend who was telling me how they're a young person in their family, who's in an early teenage, 12, 13, 14, maybe, whatever. and is really, you know, into jacking off and watching porn and weird stuff like that. And, you know, they will go onto this young person's phone and find all of these browsers opened up. Why is that even an option on your kid's phone? How do you not know? Clearly, this isn't an overnight thing. This kid has been doing, it's like, you know, and like I said, I don't have kids, you know what I'm saying? So maybe I don't know, you know, maybe I'm on Mars, but, you know, the fact that you guys do not know that your kids is out, and I get it, you know, you can't be every single where with your kids and following them. I mean, hell, my mom didn't know half of the shit that I was doing, you know what I'm saying, when I was younger, so I get it, but when it comes to that phone shit and meeting up to fight and stuff, that's just, I'm just like, where are the parents? You know? So, you know, for anybody that's watching this, you know, if you have teenage kids, you really have to, you know, be on top of your kids because you're, especially if they're teenagers, because as we see, Caleb Green, you know, has passed away from getting into a group brawl at a parade and getting stabbed. And then, like I said, a couple days ago, I'm picking up these girls from a group meetup fight. Like, I guess this is like a new thing. Don't get me wrong. Like, niggas used to fight back in the day. We used to fight back in the day. But it just seems like it's just going too far. To the point where you're meeting up to fight. People are getting stabbed. It's been plenty of times where bitches done got in fights, got beat up. Me, my homegirls, we done fought. We won fights, lost fights, got jumped. Blood clots in the eyes, all types of crazy shit. But ain't nobody dying. Nobody was dying. You know what I'm saying? So all I know is that it's very unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? I hope that the mother, you know, finds, you know, some type of emotional strength to pull through. You know, I know that has to be hard, you know, to lose your child, your firstborn child. And she was a very pretty girl, very pretty. And like I said, I believe she was on the honor roll, you know, so she was a, you know, a decent child in that aspect. So, you know, I hope that the mom can, you know, get it together and, you know, emotionally get through this. But parents, watch your kids. And if you're teenagers and you happen to run across my video, what are you fighting for? Why? Why? Now, it's one thing if you have to defend yourself. If you're being attacked, you have to defend yourself. But to go out and with the motive that you're going to carry knives and you're going to fight and you're going to, that ain't nothing but trouble. And if you look at homegirl, she's about to spend the rest of her living days. This bitch hasn't even gotten to the point where she can even go into a casino and just show her eyes. She's not even 21. She's not even 18. She's not even 18. Her whole life is done. Done. For what? For what? That's my video. Thank you for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, share. And until next time, deuces.